Good morning, beautiful souls from this wonderful land that we call Britain. Sun's shining, it's just coming up as I've met so many beautiful, wonderful people. Heard the stories of some fantastic, just I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to have spoken to all these people. It's just beautiful, it really is, it's beautiful. But one in particular that I've spoken to this morning, which is what I wanted to have a quick chat about, and it was a gentleman. So the way society teaches us from a young age, teaches us and brings them up, our parents, our schooling, our work, the society as a whole, it teaches us to wear a mask. And the reason I say this is because it teaches us to be somebody that they want us to be, whoever they are. That it keeps going and going and going and going and adding and adding and adding. So we are taught to be people, to be a person, rather. We are taught to be a person that they want us to be. Do you see what I mean there? So we are not being ourselves. We are not acting as ourselves. We are not acting from within. We are just doing what we are told is right to do, when in fact many times it's not right to do it for us in particular. So what happens is that we fight and fight, and like everything, when you pretend to be something, because that's what it is, it's pretending to be something that we're not, because society and the way we're taught is telling us that that's how we should act, not how we ought to be. So being ourselves, our true authentic selves, we can't do that in society. We've got to be the way we are told we ought to be. Now, being our true authentic selves, we have morals, even more so than being told, having morals forced upon us. And I mean, the morals forced upon us are things like rules and stuff like that, where rules don't work correctly for everybody. They can't do, it's impossible, because we're all different. This is why they try to manipulate us and make us into something that we are not. Now, over the years and years and years as we're growing, we're fighting this internally, because we want to be our true authentic selves naturally. We want to be naturally who we are. So things that we are taught and things that people tell us that the way we should be and who we should be and how we should be doesn't ring true with us. It doesn't fit right, it doesn't sit right. So we've got this internal fight going on continually. And this is where stresses come from and strains in modern day living, and where we just can't make head nor tail of it. So our mind starts going. Society teaches us, in the modern day out there, I mean television and things like that, news reports, the government, they all push it out there for us to think negatively, for us to live in fear all the time. We are not naturally living in fear all the time. It's not good for us physically or mentally. And it's this over the years that builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up, and it causes mental breakdowns. So when you hear of things in society where people have mental breakdowns, it's because of this. It's because this is the base of it. It's not anything else. So people may say, oh, it's because of the stresses of work and the strains of work. No, it's not because of that at the basis. That's the putting the plaster on it. It's not looking at the cause. It's just putting a plaster on it. What it is that in here we are not being our true authentic selves. We are not living with loving kindness. We are living in fear all the time, fear and dread all the time, because we're being taught to live in fear and dread all the time. Now, the reason I say this is because this young gentleman sat down next to me, and I could feel there was something that wasn't quite right with him. So as everybody and anybody, not just because it was him, everybody I chat to anyway, to sit down next to me or I stand next to him, that's it. That's it. My mouth opens. I can't help it. I just do it. And this gentleman, I could feel it wasn't right. And I mean, it was early in the morning, it was extremely early in the morning. It was 5:30 in the morning. And I was just sat listening to the birds, and he came past and sat down. and there was nowhere else about. There was other benches about, but he came and sat down next to me. So that tells me something straight away, that he did want something, wanted company, and wanted to feel the human connection. So I was talking to him, and it turns out, after talking to him for probably an hour, that he's suffering mentally. He's got mental strain, and mental strain to the point of depression, and being depressed, and having anxiety, feeling anxious and things. And after I'd been speaking to him, we got to the bone of it, and what it was is that all his life his parents had expected him to be a certain way, and then once he'd been that certain way and been in that certain position, in that certain job, the stresses of doing that certain job and keeping up with it, because it's not exactly what he wanted to do inside here, and keeping up with it and being this loving husband, and devoting to himself to his work and things like that, and working 16 hours a day because this is what he was taught that he should do and things, and he's completely crashed. And completely depressed. And this is what our mind does. Our mind shuts down. This is why depression hits with stresses and strains. Our mind shuts down. It says, no, we're not having none of that, we can't have any of that. So your true authentic self shuts it down. Your ego is different. Your ego fights it all the time, and your ego side of your brain is the habitual brain. And the ego is good for habits, for certain habits, but there's many habits that we've been taught throughout the years, like how we should live, that becomes a habit where it takes over, and it does it automatically. I keep saying to people, have you ever worked in the same place and you go the same time every day, day in, day out, and sometimes you drive there and you get there and you can't remember how you got there? This is the habit, this is the ego, this is the egotistical mind, this is the habitual mind. People call it different things, but this is what it is. It takes over. And when it takes over, your true authentic self can't keep up, because your true authentic self is not living with loving kindness. It's been told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and why to do it. And your true authentic self questions this why to do it. So you have this continual fight, and eventually, with many people as you hear, and this is why there's so much mental health issues at the moment in this modern world, because we are not who we are taught to be. We are not that person. We are being taught to put on a mask, put on a front. We're in a play, or in a film, if you like. We're in a film, acting throughout our lives and being something that director is telling us we should be, when we're not actually that person. We need to step out of the play, step out of the film, step out of acting, step back. And the way to do this, the best way over the years, over my 30-40 years of experience of being with people and helping people, the easiest and best way to do it is to get out of society for a bit and get into nature. Even if it's for an hour a day, a couple of hours a day, you get out and you connect, and you just sit and you just calm. No electronics, no gadgets, no nothing. You just go and you get out into nature and you reconnect. You remember who you are, and when you start reconnecting with nature, you start remembering who you are, because we are nature. This is who we are. We're not all this bricks and mortar and this modern day living of working 9 to 5 for somebody else and being told what to do, when to do, how to do it. We have morals. We have extensive morals and deep-seated morals based on love and kindness, not based on fear and control. Anyway, I just wanted to open up to that and say that. So get out in nature. Just get out, even if it's for a couple of hours, for a weekend, whatever. Get out and just sit. No gadgets. You don't want any of this modern gadget rubbish, like this thing that I'm talking to now and this thing that you're watching on now. You don't want any of it. Just go and get out in nature and sit there and just be with yourself. Just be with yourself. Even if it's only you're only able to do it to start off with for half hour. Just do it for half hour, but keep repetitiveness. You keep doing it, and you slowly go further and further within, and you slowly start living with more and more loving kindness. Meditation is the absolute way of doing it. If you can meditate, even if it's for 5 seconds to start off with, and then 10 seconds eventually, and 20 seconds and a minute, and breath work with breathing, focusing on your breathing. That is the fantastic and the best way to do it straight away within a short period of time. Anyway, be kind to yourselves, beautiful souls. Be kind to yourselves, and remember that you're only being taught in society to be an actor. You're being taught to put on a mask, be somebody you're not. Much love and many blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you.